Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. We are studying Python and today we are going to study a new topic that is exception handling. So let us start. Before understanding what is exception handling, the first thing that we need to understand is the concept of errors. Of course, we all are humans. That means the developers who are actually writing the programs are also human beings and they can also do certain errors in programming. So here in programming, we have divided the errors into certain categories. So the first error that today we are going to see is the compile time error. The compile time errors are those errors which prevents the code from running because of an incorrect syntax, such as maybe a missing semicolon at the end of a statement, or a missing bracket, or a class not found, etc. The compile time errors are sometimes also referred to as syntax errors. The Python interpreter immediately reports it, usually along with a reason. So first, before going into the different type or the second type of error, let us first understand the concept of compile time error by writing a code which deliberately have those errors. So here now I am on my Python Visual Studio Code and here I'm going to write a simple program in which I will be making explicitly certain errors. So here I have taken a variable which is equal to 1 and if condition I'm just going to check if that number is equal to 1. And everyone knows that after the condition we have to specify a colon at the end of if statement. But here I'm going to miss that and you can see that there is no indentation right now. And now I'm going to print the statement which says num is equal to 1. Now this is a correct program, but there is a syntax error, that is the missing of the semicolon at the end of the if statement. So if I run this statement and let us see how Python's interpreter is going to react because of this missing semicolon. So if I run the code, you can see that on your screens there is an error, right? Now this is the error which is given by Python. It is saying that in line number 2 there is something missing over here, but what it is missing, that is not mentioned. The Python has just told us in a generic way that yes, there is something missing in your syntax. So it is a syntax error and that is an invalid syntax. Right? So this is a simple example of a compile time error or a syntax error where the Python is telling us that, hey, developer, at the line number 2 you have missed something, and you can see that angular small angular bracket over here. It is also telling you the correct position where this particular error is been happening. Something is to be done over here that you missed. So that was an example of a compile time error. Let us look at the different type of errors that we have. The second type of error that occurs are the logical errors. The logical errors are definitely the most difficult one to fix or remove because they occur because of the incorrect logic of your program. See, syntax error is something which is to be written in a certain way and you haven't written it like that. But here the syntax is fine, the program will run fine, but you will not get any error message, but the answer will not be the intended answer. Suppose you are calculating sum of two numbers, right? The one number is 10 and another number is 20. The sum should be 30, right? So you have written 10 minus 20 by mistake and you are getting answer as minus 10, right? And suppose you have 1,000 lines of code and it was one simple arithmetic operation that you are performing in between, right? You were expecting 30 but you got minus 10. So that is the logical error and you have to go through the complete 100 or the 1,000 lines of code and find out that where that logical error is there, right? Let us see that also programmatically. So in order to actually visualize a logical error, let us make a simple program of calculating mean. right? So let us say I have number say 10, next number say 20, and next number say 30, right? And I know that the mean will be equal to the sum of all three numbers divided by the total number, that is 3, right? But here let me just write something like a minus b, it should be plus, I'm deliberately making this mistake, and c, right? And after that what I'm going to do is to divide it by 3. Now this is the logical error. I should add everything, but by mistake in place of plus I wrote minus over here, and now I can print my mean. So the mean should be something else. See, I'm getting the answer, right? I'm getting the answer at 6 point something, but that is not the correct answer, right? The correct answer should be this when it was, it would be plus. So the correct mean of these number is 20, but I was getting answer as 6.6. So I didn't get any error. I got my output, but that output was logically incorrect. Now that is what we call as logical errors. Now, the third type of error that we are going to see is the runtime error. A runtime error happens when Python understands what you are saying but runs into trouble when following your instructions. Now, these errors are mostly due to users' input, right? So actually these are runtime error. The program do not have any errors. The program runs very fine, but when the program asks the user to enter something, right, the user to input something, the user enters an unexpected value, and because of that unexpected value the programs encounters an error, right? So that is known as the runtime error, right? Now let us see an example of these errors. Now, in order to illustrate runtime errors in Python, what I'm going to do is I will be asking user to input certain values. So I want user to enter an integer value which says input, and here enter a, right? So this is expected that a user will enter a integer over here. Now I'm going to do the same thing with b, and I will be asked user to enter another number, right? And the prompt will say enter b, and here, right? So here we are going to enter two values. Now this is looking very fine. We can see as a developer that we are asking the user to enter certain integers, right? Now the next thing what we are going to do is to divide a by b. Now what we are calculating the the division operation between these two operators, right? So now I'm running the code. You can see that enter a has now been prompted on your terminal. That means the program is working fine. It do not have any compile time error, right? Now let the number a be 10, it's very fine. Let the number b be 1. In place of numeric 1, I am writing this 1, one over here, and if I enter you will be getting an error. Now this is a runtime error which says that it's a value error, invalid literal for int with base 10 1. That means you entered a word one. This is invalid for the integer function. You shouldn't have entered this value, right? So that is one example of runtime error. Now the program is again running very fine, and the prompt of enter a is there on your screen. If I enter 10, it is very fine. Okay, it is an integer. Runtime, you have given me 10, I accept it. Now this is 0, right? No error. 0 is also an integer. Now there is no error as an integer. B is going to accept a, very fine. But as soon as we print the value of a divided by b, there is a 0 division error which is says division by 0, and it is not this is not accepted because anything divided by 0 is infinity, right? So that is not accepted. So the example of value error and the example of division error are termed as runtime errors. Now, till now we have seen the different types of error. First is the compile time, second is the logical, and third is the runtime error. Now, next thing that we are going to see is what is an exception. See, the different types of errors that we have encountered till now are usually termed as exceptions, right? So first of all, I will be defining this term exception. An exception is an event which occurs during the execution of a program that disrupts the normal flow of the program's instruction. So what is an exception? Exception is an unwanted event. We do not want that exception to occur, right? But that happens, and because of that exception, the normal execution of our programs get hindered or get stopped. In general, when a Python script encounters a situation that it cannot cope with, it raises an exception, right? An exception in Python object. An exception is a Python object that represents an error, right? If such unwanted situation occurs in our program, then what should we do? You said that exception is an unwanted event. Now, what happens when this unwanted event occurs in your program? Now, that we have seen just now. How we have seen that? This is the default handling, and it is done by Python, right? So this is the default handling, and Python does it on its own. How? Let us see. Here on your screen, you can see that it is showing a zero division error because 10 is divided by 0 over here. Now this is nothing but a zero division error. Now how Python is going to actually handle it is by telling you the traceback. Now what is this traceback? This traceback is a default handling done by Python. Python is telling you the location, that is the line number where this particular error is actually happening, and also the statement, that is print a divided by b. Now this is the statement that is having that particular error, and it is also displaying a message which is saying it is a zero division error, which means that you have done division by 0. Now this particular traceback message is been printed by Python on its own. Right? Now this is known as the default handling. But what we are going to study is the exception handling, which is the customized exception handling, right? This is how Python actually handles the exception or errors. But here we are going to study how we can actually handle such errors. Why we do this? Let us see. Now the question arises, the need of exception handling. See, we have seen that traceback message, right? Now that traceback message is not readable by the people who do not know programming. See, I am a developer, you are a developer. You can actually understand, the traceback. Okay, line number that, okay, semicolon missing, okay, that is the print statement. But what about the people who do not know programming and you are developing a software and just delivering it to them, and they have to enter a certain integer, but by mistake they entered 0 and they got that trace back. So those people don't be able to understand, what is this written over here. So what we want a graceful termination of our program. We do not want that, technical termination and a big error message flashed on the screen. We want to ensure graceful termination. So that is the first and the foremost reason because of which we actually happen to do exception handling in a customized manner. Then separating error handling code from the regular code. Now that is something related to the readability of the code. See, when the error occurs, there will be a handling code which is going to handle it so that the termination is graceful, right? So we are just separating our logic from our error handling, right? So there is a separation between the two. Then propagating errors up the call stack and grouping the different types of error. Now these are certain need of exception handling that we can actually understand programmatically, right? So because of to understand all these types of needs that we can have, we need to actually program the customized exception handling, right? So now on your screen is the syntax of exception handling, which is composed of two blocks. First is the try block, and you can see inside the try block we have to write a code which is the critical code, right? Now what is the critical code? Critical code is a code which can have error, right? So I do not know, right? But as a programmer, when I'm typing that, okay, I want user to enter an integer value, what if the user enters something wrong, right? So that is something critical code, right? The lines of code which have the probability of having the errors. right? So in the try block, we are going to write that particular statements, and the except block will contain the error handling code. Now this is going to execute only if that error occurs. Otherwise, the except block will not run. Right? So now let us go to the Python screen and see how we can actually handle the exceptions, that is the errors, in a customized manner with the help of try and the except block. We know that in this particular example, we have seen the zero division error if the user enters the value of b as 0 by mistake. So we know that this is the line number, that is, if I run the code, okay, and let me just tell you once again, it is 10 and it is 0. And you can see that this print statement, now this is the critical line of code because this is the one which is actually creating this zero division error, right? So this is the one. So for that, what we can do, I know that this particular statement is the one which is actually having the error of, zero division error. If I rerun the code and if I enter the value as 10 and here I enter again the value as 1, I know that this is the statement where I can have the particular error, right? Because, so the best thing is, now as a programmer we have identified that these three statements are critical one. So what we are going to do is to place them inside the try block, and definitely because it is inside the block, then there should be a tab over here because that should be the indentation, right? Now what if that these things happen, zero division error and each and every type of error? What we are going to do, what we are going to do is to write an except block which will be telling you that there is an error. So enter, and you are going to say, please enter the value of B correctly, right? Now this is our error handling code. Now let us see. Now if I run this code and if I enter the value of A as 10 and now I'm entering B as 0, let us see what is going to happen. See, the prompt is saying, please enter the value of B correctly. If I rerun the code, right, and if I write the value of A as 10 and the value of B as 1, the entering says, please enter the value of B correctly, right? So this is something which is actually gracefully telling you that you have entered an incorrect value. Or maybe there is a possibility that the value of A is incorrect. So you can customize this. Please enter the value of variables, because A and B are nothing but the variables, correctly, right? So if I rerun the code and this time if I write the value of A as 10 and run the code, then you will be having a message that please enter the value of variables correctly, right? So this is how we are actually making customized error handling through try and except block. So that was an introduction lecture in which we studied about what is an exception, the different types of error, and how we are going to handle them gracefully with the help of try and except block. For watching more details about exception handling and more such videos on Python, stay tuned to my channel. Thank you.